Welcome students. So this video is for class 8 social science. So today we'll start with a new chapter from your social and political life, that is the Constitution of India. Okay, very important chapter. So in the previous chapter we have studied about the needs of law, isn't it? So why there must be a law in our society, isn't it, to maintain discipline, to maintain restriction, to maintain this to maintain equality among all the society, all the group of people in our country, isn't it? So in this chapter we're going to study more about the constitution, how this law came into effect and all. Okay, got it? So let's start. So before independence, our India was being ruled by the British, isn't it? So what happened after your 15 August 1947, India got freedom, isn't it? Yes. So British hand over all the government political works and all to the Indians, isn't it? So now this all responsibility to bring the equality, to maintain kind of equalness among this society came in the head of the leaders. Okay, so now these leaders, okay, these leaders at that time was like your Rajendra Prasad, your Motilal Nehru. Okay, so these all people came together. Okay, got it? And there was a necessity of law, okay, of kind of constitution, so that this all the group of people can come together. Okay, got it? So now, so these all the leaders, they set up a constitution assembly. Okay, that's constituent assemblies. Okay, so constitution assembly was been composed or been comprises of great leaders and all, okay, of that time. Like I told you already, like Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, your Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Maulana Azad, Sarojini Naidu. These all are the important rulers, or leaders of that time. Okay, so these all came together. Okay, got it? And they form a constituent assembly, right? So Dr. Rajendra Prasad was been appointed as the president of this assembly. Okay, got it? So now, in order to form or to prepare a draft, okay, of the Constitution of India, the Constituent Assembly, they form a drafting committee. Okay, and Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was been appointed as the chairman of the drafting committee. Okay, so various or numerous number of your draft was been put forward. Okay, and among the draft only, they selected an important one and they form a draft. Okay, and that came to be known as the Constitution of India. Okay, so in this Constitution of India, all the rights of the people, all the fundamental rights, all everything is been mentioned, right? So whichever is for the whichever is going to be benefit the people of India, right? So this Constitution of India, the leaders adopted on 26 November 1949, but it came into effect, okay, only on 26 January 1950. So that's why this day is considered as a Republic Day of India, right? So now next is about your aims and objectives of the Constitution of India. So the main aim, we know that the Constitution of India is to maintain equality, to maintain peace and order, isn't it? Since we know that our country is a diverse country, isn't it? In our country, various people with a different ethnics, religious, cultural groups, isn't it, languages, they all live in our country, isn't it? So in order to maintain the peace and harmony in this country, so Constitution of India was been formed, right? So now that is about your socialist, about your peace, about whatever is been mentioned in the preamble, as your preamble is the introduction part of your Constitution of India. Okay, so in the preamble everything has been mentioned about, like you can check your book only. Okay, there is a picture of the preamble also, right? Yes, this page you're going to find in the front of the Constitution of India. Okay, so now, so preamble declares our India as a sovereign, secular, democratic, democratic fraternity, equality is everything is mentioned in the preamble, isn't it? So let's understand this term detailedly. So sovereign is a term, okay, which is referred to that country where in that country there is no any interference of the outsider in the internal and the external matter of that country, isn't it? So whatever policies has been adopted by our country is been made or been created by the people of India only, right? So socialist, since our India, okay, in our India, there is a rich people also, there's poor people also, isn't it? But there is no any kind of discrimination among the rich or among the poor, isn't it? So everything or every kind of opportunities is been provided equally to the every people. Okay, either that people is belonging from the high class or belonging from the low class, either is rich, is poor, either he belong from different groups and all. Okay, got it? So every people are getting or being provided same opportunities, okay, and same equality and all. Okay, so secular, so it is connected or it is mentioned with the term your religion and all. Okay, so as we know that our country is a country where we're going to find a different cultural people, isn't different religions peoples are there. Christian is there, Sikh is there, your Muslims, Hindu, etc. and all. Okay, got it? But there's no any kind of given priority, more priority to that to that religion. Okay, we can the Constitution of India doesn't give a much priority to the Hindu or much priority to the Muslims and all. Okay, got it? So every religions are been treated equally in our country. Okay, that is about your secularism. Then your democratic republic. So we have know the term about the universal adult franchise. We have already discussed in the previous chapter. So according to the universal adult franchise, so every people, okay, every citizen who is above 18 years old that person is free to cast their vote, isn't it? Yes, so without any kind of force and all, isn't it? So whichever leader or whichever representative he or she likes to vote, isn't it? So he or she has got the freedom to cast the vote to that particular representative, right? So because of that only, isn't it? So all the people are been voting, isn't all the citizens are voting. So because of that only, the person or who is the good leader is been elected as the leader of our country, isn't it? So that is our own people, isn't it? So next is your justice. Okay, so justice, every people or every group of people are getting equal or been justified, isn't it? They are being either anyone is breaking the rules or so yeah, rules or law or whatever, that person is being punished, isn't it? Or anyone who has been victimized, isn't it, by anybody, that person the person who has been creating or done such kind of crime, that person will get the punishments and all, isn't it? So that is about the justification. So in our India, there is a social economic justice. Okay, like for social justice means any people, okay, any people who are been discriminated or been or are been exploited in terms of your caste, religious, culture, whatever, that person will be justified. Okay, so and next, your economic justice means that every people will going to get the same opportunities. Okay, right, that is regarding your economic justice. And political justice means every citizen of our country are getting the rights to vote. Okay, got it? So that is your political justice. Liberty, in the Constitution of India, there is a fundamental rights. Okay, so according to these rights, the people are given freedom to think, to express their views, okay, to select or to choose the religions whichever they like to prefer. Okay, got it? So that is the liberty given to the citizen, isn't it? So next is your equality. So equality means bringing kind of equalness among all the peoples. Okay, got it? So there is kind of what opportunity given to all the people in field of your your education, your health, your employment and all. Okay, got it? So because of that, none of any citizen will be discriminated, isn't it, regarding the caste, your genders, your religion and all. Okay, got it? So if any child has got the potential, he or she can show or can groom himself, okay, properly, without any kind of discrimination, any kind of obstacles and all. Okay, got it? So that is kind of equality. And this constitution also helps to maintain or kind of secure the people, isn't it? So if any people or any person is been discriminated or been victimized, so that people or that person has a free to demand for justice in front of the court. Okay, got it? So next is your fraternity. So our India is all considered as a country of different form, isn't different diversity, isn't it? So it is called our unity in diversity also, isn't it? So So your fundamental rights or the Constitution of India tries to promote, try to bring the feeling of equalness, kind of feeling of brotherhood among all the people of India, isn't, so that there will no any kind of differences among the people, among the citizen of people. Okay, so they cannot say that, oh no, only Hindu we are the brothers, no, only Muslim we are the brothers and sisters and all, isn't it? So even the Hindu and Muslim, even the other religions, so they have to think, they have to set up in their mind that every religion of the world, isn't it, sorry, of the country are same, okay, are their sister and brothers. Okay, got it? So that there will no any kind of problem, any kind of discrimination, any kind of exploitation in our country, isn't it? So these all things, okay, this our constitution. So the Constitution of India has for far extent has achieved to bring all the people in oneness, okay, to bring all together. So it has integrated all the groups of people, okay, of our country. So whatever laws are been mentioned in the Constitution of India, if that laws are not been benefited for the citizen of India, then it can be modified also or can be changed also. Okay, got it? So main aim of your constitution is to bring equality, isn't it, in our India, isn't it? So that comes to the end of your chapter. Hope you have understand the chapters. Okay, please do the home assignment.